AOC. People love Jasmine Crockett. People love Eric Swalwell and the like. And I think that the Democratic Party should put the people out there who the people want. They should put the politicians out there who the people want, who they're asking for, who are meeting the moment with the same energy that
they're not asking for AOC.
Yes, they are.
The people you party with
No. The people I party with don't like AOC.
Oh, please.
No, they don't at all.
Well, most people don't.
But
she's
AOC,
very far left.
Let me tell you why I'm saying that.
Is this. When I first became a public defender, I had no criminal defense experience. And I walked in and I told my boss, Charlie, I said, listen, you should hire me. He said, why? I said, because I'm black. Charlie looked at me like I was crazy.
Person Crockett is part of the new trend where informality is okay, where formality used to reign. Okay, fine. That's been going.
A podcaster talks or some shit. Can you imagine, I don't know, Obama saying, oh, man, dude, this shit is whack. Slap me. I'm over it. I mean, come on.
Bill Maher just went off on Jasmine Crockett Live on national TV, holding nothing back as he mocked her like some TikTok influencer, pretending to be a serious member of Congress. In his latest interview, he didn't just speak casually. He directly called out the entire strategy behind today's Democratic Party.
People filming us in the bathroom. How many of these trannies are taking selfies? These men are taking selfies in women's spaces, in the bathroom. It's gross. It's disgusting. So if we're going to talk about civil rights, let's talk about the rights of women in this country and how you are stripping them away every single day. And you're doing it in your legislation. You're doing it in your messaging. You're doing it on X. You're making women feel unsafe in this country. And you're making the opportunity for women and girls to be raped, to be sexually abused in this country, even greater than they've ever been. So don't come over here with your attitude and talk to me about rights when you're trying to take my rights as a woman, a rape survivor, away. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
He laid it all out, explaining how choosing the loudest personalities instead of the smartest minds is pushing the party straight into chaos. And this wasn't just some random outburst. Maher came fully prepared with facts. He broke everything down with sharp precision, highlighting how both Crockett and AOC seem more focused on going viral than actually making meaningful progress. It feels like performance is being valued over real policy, and Maher made sure everyone saw it clearly.
We got there because I tried to make it clear how many civil rights, it doesn't just boil down to one conversation, but I can see that somebody's campaign coffers really are struggling right now. So she gonna keep saying trans, so that people will feel threatened. And child, listen, I want y'all to tell me whether or
Do
not.
not call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't
to
even
find
start.
out
I am a grown
which
woman.
of those
I'm 47 years
emails
old. I have broken
actually
more
have.
glass ceilings than you
Chairman,
ever
I
Order,
am
please.
reclaiming my
Let's go.
time.
You will not do that. I
Order.
am not a child.
I am reclaiming my time.
If you want to take it outside,
Mr. Chairman, the committee is not
Okay.
in order.
Order.
Point of order.
Order. Chair recognizes Ms. Crockett.
No, point of order, Mr. Chairman.
State your point.
Is it allowed in the rules for a member to incite violence against another member? I mean, she wants to take it outside with.
Hey, I have the First Amendment right too,
And
young
so
man.
I'd like
First
those
Amendment
words to be
right. I'm not
taken
gonna be a
down.
child.
I
I'm
am
not gonna
moving
be
to have
called a
those
child
words
by
taken
any
down.
of you.
I believe it's against the rules to
Going
incite
outside doesn't
violence
incite
against
violence.
another
You have a
member of
conversation
Congress.
that isn't.
The committee will
interrupting the
suspend.
committee.
The member will state the words he wishes taken down.
But wait, it gets even juicier. Another guest jumped in and went straight after Crockett. No sugarcoating, no political filters. She said exactly what she thought, dropping truth bombs with every line. Every sentence hit hard like a mic drop. No rambling, no dodging, just clear and honest criticism aimed directly at Crockett's whole approach. And when Crockett finally responded, boom, she did exactly what people had come to expect. Raise her voice, avoid accountability, and turn it all into a messy spectacle. This is what it looks like when someone hits 40, but still thinks being loud means being a leader. It's not empowering, it's just cringe. And if the Democrats don't pivot soon, this influencer-style politics could blow up in everyone's face. After all that, it was Don Lemon's turn to step into the ring.
See, people love Jasmine Crockett. People love Eric Swalwell and the like. And I think that the Democratic Party should put the people out there who the people want. They should put the politicians out there who the people want, who they're asking for, who are meeting the moment with the same energy that
They're not
that's
asking for
giving.
AOC.
Yes, they are.
The people you party with are.
No. The people I party with don't like AOC.
Oh, please.
No, they don't at all.
Well, most people don't.
But
she's
AOC
very far left.
Let me tell you why I'm saying that. Because because people will vote for AOC and Donald Trump on the same ticket. Because they're authentic. No, because they're authentic.
I don't do that.
Okay.
That Don.
I think you're wrong about that.
What people like about people like Trump and
That's
Fetterman
phony.
is because it's irrelevant to her life.
But you don't
really,
know her life.
I know that being a gorgeous woman who I wouldn't even know was Hispanic in a city that's has 1 million Hispanics and does not treat them badly.
But that doesn't mean she doesn't struggle. That doesn't mean that she was set down
it implies it.
But that doesn't mean that she was set down in a Hispanic ghetto in the Bronx and had to deal with that growing up, and that she's come from a working class family.
It implies that it implies that in some way she's behind the 8 ball because of that, and it's just not true. And so
I don't know if she's behind the 8 ball, but I don't think she's as privileged as many people who are in Congress right now.
Is that privileged or not? She was a bartender.
Yeah.
You know, so I was a delivery boy.
But I'm saying sometimes, Bill, you don't agree with Donald Trump's policies.
No.
But that's what the people want.
Some of them.
Whether you like her or not, I don't like what she did with Amazon in New York. But I think AOC she's a Democratic icon.
Well, she's the wrong. If you think that's the direction the country, the Democratic.
I'm not saying the policies that she espouses that's the direction, but I'm saying that you have to give the people who are out front speaking for the party, not the people who are.
If you think
she's evolving,
yeah, she's evolving,
and
we all are,
and she is moving into
right.
She understands the game a little bit more, and if you notice, she is sort of becoming a sort of normal kind of Democrat in many ways.
Yes.
I think she's great. It's a very smart tactic. She's
great.
Very smart.
Let's go.
And wow, he got smoked. When Bill Maher hit him with a straight-up truth bomb, Don Lemon didn't even have a second to react. It was a verbal knockout. Let's be real. Don Lemon might be one of the most out-of-touch voices CNN has ever put on air. He keeps doubling down on weak takes while hyping up people who clearly aren't built for real leadership. It's like he's living in an alternate reality where bad opinions get rewarded and actual facts are just ignored.
What we have right now is that if we continue down this road, then we will not have a rule of law, because we have people that are currently serving and they're saying things like, ignore the judge's order. What it means to have law and order in this country is that you follow the order and you go through the appeals process, even if you dislike what the judge did. Thank you, and
And I'm going to note that when Miss Ocasio-Cortez, or AOC as we know her, filed articles of impeachment on Justice Thomas and Alito, Ms. Crockett was one of the co-sponsors along with Mr. Cohen, both members of this committee. It does seem interesting that when the shoe is on the other foot, everyone is self-righteous.
Wow.
And I think this is a good example. For the last 3 hours, I have had to listen to one side talking about impeachment as though it was the nature of this hearing.
You can tell the party's losing its grip when even Don Lemon refuses to acknowledge what's right in front of him. He keeps cheerleading for the same worn-out faces, the same loud personalities, and acts like we're not seeing through the entire performance.
Is part of the new trend where informality is okay, where formality used to reign. Okay, fine. That's been going on since the 60s. So her routine is that she wants to bring a little bit of what I might quaintly call the ghetto cat fight into these spaces. I get it, bring a blaxploitation movie or something into Congress. Great, working. But you do not make fun of the fact that somebody lives their life in a wheelchair. That doesn't work. If she thinks that being black and fabulous gives her a pass on that, then she's got a really unfortunate sense of what black is.
Well, what do you think, Ricky?
And let's not pretend everyone around Jasmine Crockett is actually proud of this mess. They're just too afraid to speak up. You can feel it. The silence says it all. People are tired. fed up with the same recycled policies dressed up in flashy slogans. The left have been running the same tired playbook for decades, delivering drama instead of real change. Now, pay close attention to what happened right after Maher brought up Crockett. The way he clapped back at Don Lemon was brutal. No filters, no fluff, just sharp, bold truth that landed hard and left no room for spin. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, Crockett doubled down. Instead of reflecting on the criticism, she came out swinging, but not with facts. She brought deflection, shade, and full-on drama. She started throwing out buzzwords, playing the victim, and turning it all into an emotional performance. Like she's auditioning for a reality show instead of standing up for real people.
This is just an example of when they go low, we go lower. And the Democratic Party is going to lose if they try to use kind of MAGA world tactics back at them. I think that if the Democrats want to succeed in the future, they need to be the party that is normal, that are stand-up people, that do not take the cheap shots back.
I don't know. I'm not that upset about it. I'm really not. You know why? Because I'm a big fan of Family Guy. And they have... Am I wrong? Every week. I mean, one of the characters, Joe the cop, is in a wheelchair. And every week there's 20 jokes about him being in a wheelchair. And nobody died. And like, I just think everybody has to like lighten up a little. Yeah, it's terrible to be in a wheelchair, but you know, it's not like it's news to him. I don't know. I'm a free speaker.
I adore Family Guy. I've seen every episode, but that wasn't a cartoon. This is real life, and she was saying it with dismissive hostility, as opposed to the cartoonish, we can get away with it because we're drawn. Jasmine Crockett is not drawn, and neither is Abbott. I see a distinction, although I see what you mean.
The wildest part? She dragged AOC into the mess too, like they were some kind of tag team of political influencers. Both of them tried to play the powerful woman card, but ended up sounding more like social media personalities chasing clout than public servants doing real work. IT feels like every time they speak, it's about going viral, not about solving anything. Meanwhile, people are out here struggling, and this is the energy we're getting from so-called leaders: speeches with no solutions, attitude with no answers, and rage with no results. At this point, it's honestly embarrassing, and Maher wasn't the only one calling it out. More voices are stepping up now. Journalists, former allies, even people within the party are quietly saying the same thing. This isn't, it's becoming painfully clear. The longer the spotlight stays on people like Crockett and AOC, the further the party drifts from what really matters. And if nobody steps in soon, they won't just lose the next election. They'll lose the people for good.
Quote I thought was apropos of what's going on the left. And by the way, if you watch the speech, I saw mostly the clips of it, and mostly it was people in the audience, the guy with the cane, people with like paddles. Oh, there's the cane dude. And then there's, okay, we're you know, here's our uniform. And these, you know, looks like you're at a auction signs. I mean, it was, John Fetterman called it a sad cavalcade of self-owns and unhinged petulance. I love him. I said he should have won last week. The Democrats seem so lost. And here's Jasmine Crockett, who is, I thought, a big leader in the Democratic Party. Her quote is, "This is a terrible nightmare."
Now, here's where things really start to spiral. As more clips of Crockett's meltdown hit social media, people weren't cheering. They were cringing. Comment sections lit up with folks from both sides asking the same thing. Is this really who's representing us now? And honestly, that says it all. Lifelong Democrats are watching this circus and feeling completely disconnected. Voters who once cared about justice, progress, and real policy are now stuck watching TikTok-style tantrums play out on national platforms. It feels like the whole thing turned into a live stream stunt instead of serious political discussion. And when critics speak up, boom, they're instantly labeled as haters or worse. Suddenly, holding someone accountable means you're anti-woman, anti-progress, or part of some conspiracy. It's emotional manipulation at this point, and people are tired of playing along. Even behind closed doors, insiders are getting nervous. They know this image is damaging. They know these viral moments are pushing the center further away and firing up the opposition. But no one wants to be the first to say it out loud. That's how deep the fear runs. So while the loudest voices chase views and applause, the real issues, the economy, crime, education, are getting buried. And if this keeps going, there won't be anything left to fight for. Because let's be real, once the crowd stops clapping, all that's left is a mess they made on stage. And just so we're clear, this whole act is meant to reel in Gen Z voters. But here's the truth. Gen Z isn't buying it. They're not vibing with politicians who treat serious issues like viral trends. You can't fool a generation that grew up spotting nonsense with a single scroll. They see right through it. What they're not seeing is common sense. And that's exactly why those votes are slipping away. Now, let's talk about Bill Maher. He's walking a tightrope, trying not to upset the Democratic base. One moment, he's dropping truth. The next, he's softening the blow. It's obvious he's playing both sides. One faith for honesty, one for keeping it safe. But even with all that balancing, when others stepped up and laid the truth out there, Maher didn't push back. He knew there was nothing left to defend. If you haven't seen the clips yet, go check them out. Maher may not spell it out, but the vibe is clear. This feels like the beginning of the end for the Democratic Party as we know it. And on a real note, I feel for the women wearing pink and posting empowerment quotes, yet staying silent when it actually matters. That silence speaks louder than any speech, and it's heartbreaking. But hey, let's keep the conversation going. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're rocking with the truth, make sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.